Yes, guys, the Big Ten Championship game was one to remember, though not in the best way for Hawkeye fans out there. And though the outcome wasn't ideal for Hawkeye Nation, Iowa had one of the biggest plays of the night downfield. Even with that play, they still only ran 16 plays in the second half compared to Michigan State's 52 plays. Taylor Brooks takes us through this Iowa offense. Taylor?
The talk leading up to the Big Ten Championship was all about Michigan State's Connor Cook and his arm, and Iowa's 4 running backs who have been producing yardage after yardage each week. But it was the complete opposite for both teams on Saturday night. MSU thrived on the run game, while Iowa proved that they can throw the ball down the field. But Tavon Smith's completion by C.J. Beathard for 85 yards just wasn't enough for Iowa to come out on top.
That was an excellent call by Greg up in the box, and the guys up front really executed well as a play action. Protection was great. This is a tough group to block. They're really good pass rushers, so the protection was great. And CJ put it out there right on the money, and Tavon brought it in and finished the play. So really gave us a spark there in the second half, gave us an opportunity to take the lead, and just a tremendous play, but characteristic of the way he throws the ball and the way he plays quarterback.
No, I mean, I don't really look at my own performance at all. I just know that the team gave a good effort the entire night, and we played tough, and it was a tough game. Both sides of the ball played tough, and credit to Michigan State, they played tough as well.
That played a big part, and we just couldn't come out with it. They played a little bit tougher than we did when it came down to the wire.
But at the same time, Michigan State played a great game, played well defensively, kept us scoring fewer points than their offense did. So they did their job, and just got to come back and get the next one.
Reporting from Lucas Oil Stadium, this has been Taylor Brooks for Daily Iowan TV Sports.
Fast forwarding through the game, Michigan State's 22-yard drive ate up over 9 minutes of the fourth quarter and gassed the defense as the Spartans scored the winning touchdown with 27 seconds left on the game. Katie Reber got the players' take on what went down in the team's first loss.
The Hawks' first loss of their season coming at one of the biggest games this organization has ever faced. Definitely a close game and a tale of 2 excellent defensive squads. Of course, in the first half, each team was held to just 2 field goals apiece, but in the second half, it was a different story as Michigan State's offense ended up being too much for the Hawkeyes to handle.
Passing, we definitely put some pressure on this guy, the quarterback. Due to him, he's a very great quarterback, but we put pressure on him, and they just ran the ball a lot more. They have a very great running back, and that's what they really got us at, was the running game.
We like the physical stuff up front, but we just didn't capitalize when we had opportunities today.
It was like that on the 1-yard line. They drove it down the field. Credit to them. They were able to come up big, and we just came up short.
We just fight till the end. It's never over for us, and everybody knows that about each other.
Probably the most demanding, just physically and emotionally, than any other game we've played this year.
Came up short. We played tough, but playing tough doesn't win ball games.
We're going to take this loss and regroup it and use it as an advantage to the next game and move on to it and correct our mistakes.
Excited to get to the next game here, and put this one behind us.
I think every guy is proud of the way he played and gave it their all. It's just a tough way to lose.
As many of those Hawkeye players mentioned, this was one of the most physical games these players have played all season long. They are using the lessons they learned from this loss to move on to their next bowl game. Here from Lucas Oil Stadium, I'm Katie Reber, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
It was definitely a heartbreaking loss for Iowa as their undefeated season comes to an end, but they still have a chance to come back to get a final win. It was announced today that the Hawks will be going bowling come January 1st in Pasadena, California, at the Rose Bowl against number 6 Stanford. Kirk Ferentz and the 4 captains met with the media tonight about the final showdown.
Going into the game last night, I certainly didn't feel compelled to defend our team for anything. I don't know why we'd have to. They've played well. I was talking to somebody last night. I'm not sure. I've been around a team that's not only prepared each week, but then shown up and competed about as hard as you can compete 12 times.
Yeah, obviously, we would have liked to win last night and go to the playoff, but this is the next best thing. The Rose Bowl is one of the biggest bowls of them all, and we're happy to be in this position.
Moving from the gridiron to the basketball court, the Iowa men's team took home another win this past weekend after their first ever matchup against University of Missouri Kansas City. Hannah Thompson breaks down who led the Hawks to their 95-75 victory.
After a rough first half from the field, the Iowa men's basketball team needed a spark if they were going to come back for a win against UMKC, and that spark came from the bench. Coming off a 45-31 lead after the first 20 minutes of the game, the Hawkeyes got a kick from the bench with players like Nicholas Baer and Dom Ewell coming in to help keep their lead. Both Ewell and Baer were the statistical leaders with 14 points each, adding to the huge 53 points coming just from the bench. And even though Iowa had the lead for the majority of the game, the win didn't come easy and had a lot to do with the extra help those bench players provided.
UMKC's got some really good guards and a really good team, so good win, and I thought a lot of guys contributed, especially off the bench, which is always fun to get other guys involved.
And for the players that made that big impact on the game, there were a couple of key factors that made them so successful.
I mean, I just try to stay aggressive today, be aggressive on the boards. That's what Coach told me. You know, we gotta rebound as a team.
I mean, our stars are always so consistent with our senior leadership, and we can rely on them. But I think that's a strength of our team is having balance. You know, one night it could be Dom, or it could be me or Brady, or anybody coming off the bench ready to contribute. So I think balance is key for our team for sure.
From Carver Hawkeye Arena, Hannah Thompson, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
That balance is going to have to really come through for the men's basketball team, as Coach McCaffrey just confirmed that key player Dale Jones will be out the rest of the season with a knee injury. That's all I got here in sports. Back to you two at the desk.